Chapter 15. And David made him houses in the city of David, and he prepared a place for the ark of God, and pitched for it a tent. Then David said, None ought to carry the ark of God but the Levites, for them hath the Lord chosen to carry the ark of the Lord, and minister unto him forever. And David assembled all Israel at Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the Lord unto its place which he prepared for it. And David gathered together the sons of Aaron, and the Levites, and of the sons of Kohath, Uriel, the chief, and his brethren 120. And of the sons of Merari, Asaiah, the chief, and his brethren 220. And of the sons of Gershom, Joel, the chief, and his brethren 130. And of the sons of Elisaphan, Shemaiah, the chief, and his brethren 200. And of sons of Hebron, Eliel, the chief, and his brethren 80. And of the sons of Uzziel, Amminadab, the chief, and his brethren 112. And David called for Zadok, and Abiathar the priest, and for the Levites, and for Uriel, Asaiah, and Joel, Shemaiah, and Eliel, and Amminadab. And he said unto them, You are the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites. Sanctify yourselves, both you and your brethren, that you may bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel, unto the place that I have prepared for it. For because you bore it not at the first, the Lord our God made a breach upon us, for that we sought him not according to the ordinance. So the priest and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel. And the children of the Levites bore the ark of God upon their shoulders, with the bars thereon, as Moses commanded according to the word of the Lord. And David spoke to the chief of the Levites to appoint their brethren the singers, with instruments of music, psalteries and harps and cymbals, sounding aloud and lifting up the voice with joy. So the Levites appointed Kamah, the son of Joel, and his brethren, Asaph, the son of Berechiah, and the sons of Merari, their brethren, Ethan, the son of Cushaiah, and with them their brethren of the second degree, Zechariah, Ben, Yaatziel, and Shemiramot, and Yachiel, and Uni, Eliab, and Benaniah, and Masaiah, Mattathiah, and Eliphaluhu, and Mechnaiah, and Obed-Edom, and Yehiel, the doorkeepers. So the singers, Kaman, Asaph, Ethan, were appointed, with cymbals of brass to sound aloud. And Zechariah, and Atziel, and Shemariamot, and Yehiel, and Uni, and Eliab, and Maasaiah, and Benaiah, with psalteries set to Alamot. And Mattathiah, and Eliphaluhu, and Mechnahu, and Obed-Edom, and Yehiel, Atzaziah, with harps of the Shemanite, to lead. And Kenaniah, chief of the Levites, was over the song. He was master in the song, because he was skillful. And Berechiah and Elkanah were doorkeepers for the ark. And Shabaniah, and Joshaphat, and Nethanel, and Amasai, and Zechariah, and Benaniah, and Eleazar, the priest, did blow with trumpets before the ark of God. And Obed-Edom and Yachiah were doorkeepers for the ark. So David and the elders of Israel and the captains over thousands went to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the house of Obed-Edom with joy. And it came to pass, when God helped the Levites that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, that they sacrificed 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And David was clothed with a robe of fine linen, and all the Levites that bore the ark, and the singers, and Kenaniah, the master of the singers in the song, and David had upon him an ephod of linen. Thus all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with shouting, and with sound of horn, and with trumpets, and with cymbals, sounding aloud with psalteries and harps. And it came to pass, as the ark of the covenant of the Lord came to the city of David, that Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out at the window, and saw King David dancing and making merry, and she despised him in her heart. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. And Yesterday we remember King Kiram was building a house for David. He had sent masons and all these down, and they're going to build cities and build the city up, even these of nobility, and we'll see. In verse 1, we'll pick it up there. And David made him houses in the city of David, and he prepared a place of the ark of God, and pitched for it a tent. And he pitched for the ark of God there a tent in the city of David as he built his houses and all this, because God had commanded for this tent. This was still the tent of the meeting place. 2. Then David said, None ought to carry the ark of God, but the Levites. For them hath the Lord chosen to carry the ark of the Lord, and to minister unto him forever. So the ark which they had left there at the house of Obed-Edom, when after God had struck forth against Uzzah. Uzzah was those feminine strengths, and God struck forth there at Kedon, at that threshing floor. We're going to see that, though, David now realizes that the law of Moses, which God commanded that the king keep him a copy right there beside him, it's in Deuteronomy there, that says that only the Levites can carry the ark. And David says, now we'll go get the ark, and we'll have the Levites carry it. See, because God has said, they shall carry the ark, and minister unto him forever. 3. And David assembled all Israel at Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the Lord unto its place, which he had prepared for it, which David had prepared a place there in Jerusalem, even that city of peaceful teachings. David had prepared a place for there. 4. And David gathered together the sons of Aaron and the Levites. And these sons of Aaron are going to be the ones who minister before the Lord, and the Levites are the ones who would carry out the duties of the temple, or the duties of the tent at that time. And this would be the separation in the house of Levites, was Aaron was a Levite, and the house of Levi was separated there. Aaron means the light bringer. The Levites are those that join. The Levi means to join, and Levites means there's plural there. There's more than one there, so these are those that are joined. 5. Of the sons of Kohath, Uriel, the chief, and his brethren, 120. And these would be the sons of Kohath. And Kohath means the assembled, those that are assembled. And Uriel would be the chief, and Uriel is the fire of the mighty one, or even this light that comes off this fire of the mighty one. And his brethren are 120. 100 is judgment, and 20 is going to be redemption. Redemption comes in to witness the law, or these 2 tens, or twice the law, even as twice Moses come down with the law. 6. Merari, the sons of Merari, Asaiah, the chief, and his brethren, 220. And these would be the sons of Merari. Merari means to be bitter, or to those of bitterness. Those of bitters. Those that are bitter is Asaiah. He's the chief, and he was made of God. That means to be made of God, to be fashioned of God. 220. And 220, now, twice the judgment. See, witness this judgment, because this is what's fashioned of God, and this 20, because it's the redemption. 7. Of the sons of Gershom, Yoel, the chief, and his brethren, 130. And Gershom are those that are exiled, those that have been exiled. Yoel, he would be their chief, and Yoel is whom God is the mighty one. See, God is the mighty one over those that have been exiled. And there was 130, and 130, because see, judgment, now the beginning of judgment is this dedication. We'll find more about this dedication as we go, even that which completes the law, these 3 tens. 8. The sons of Elisaphan, Shemaiah, the chief, and his brethren, 200. And these would be the sons of Elisaphan, the mighty one of this hidden storage, or that hidden treasure that's stored up. Shemaiah, to those that listen to God. See, to those that listen to God, this that is stored up, this hidden treasure, this 200, and that's to witness the judgment. That's what you get to do. You get to witness even this second judgment of God. 9 of the sons of Hebron, Eliel, the chief, and his brethren, fourscore. And these would be the sons of Hebron. Hebron is the association. Hebron means the association. Eliel would be the chief, and that is the might of the mighty one. And his brethren are fourscore. And fourscore, see, is 4, because it's the work of God. And 20, these 420s, is 80. See, and that would be a new beginning in the law, but these fourscore is the work of God in redemption, or the work of God that you can witness the law, because it's always going to be the work of God. 10, and of the sons of Uzziel, Aminadab, the chief, and the brethren, 812, and these are the sons of Uzziel. Uzziel is the strength of the mighty one. Aminadab is the chief. Aminadab is the peoples that are made willing. See, because this is the strength of the mighty one. He makes these people willing. And 112 is judgment. 100, it's always going to be judgment. And 12 is the laws witnessed. 10 and 2, there's the law. 10 and 2 is your witness. Or 12, because when you witness the law, you have understanding. 11, and David called for Zadok and Abiathar the priest, and for the Levites, for Uriel, Asaiah, and Joel, Shemaiah, and Eliel, and Aminadab. And these would be the sons of Zadok, and also the priest. Zadok means the just. Zadok is the just, and Abiathar is the father's remnant. That means father's remnant of the priest. And for these Levites, they were Levites. See, they were Levites. They were those that joined. See, they were those that joined. And for Uriel is the fire of this mighty one. Asaiah, that which was made by God. And Joel, see, because God is the mighty one. And Shemaiah, and Eliel, and Aminadab. And Shemaiah are to those that listen to God. See, to those that listen to God. And Eliel is the might of the mighty one. And Aminadab, the people are made willing. And this people that are made willing, this is to incite or to impel. The people are caused to do. See, they are impelled to do it. They are coerced. We'll find out by pleasantry. It's always going to be done by pleasantry, all these beautiful, wonderful things. 12, and said unto them, you are the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites. Sanctify yourselves, both you and your brethren, that you may bring the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel, unto the place that I have prepared for it. And David commands them, all the Levites, all these ones that have joined, to sanctify themselves. And that means to purify yourself, make yourself clean, and prepare to do this, both you and your brethren, and that we may bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel, to the place that I have prepared for it, that place in Jerusalem, that place where he had made a spot for the tent. 13, for because you bore it not at the first, the Lord our God made a breach upon us, for that we sought him not according to the ordinance. So David tells them now, it's because you didn't carry it at first, when we tried to bring it up here at first, when Uzzah reached out and touched it, and God made a breach there at Peretz Uzzah. And this breach here is that God broke forth on them. See, God broke forth on them in a little judgment. See, God wasn't as happy about what they was doing as they were. See, and that's pretty much because they wasn't following the ordinances of God. 14, so the priest and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel. So the priest and all the Levites prepare themselves. They get ready. They're getting ready to bring up the ark of God. 15, and the children of the Levites bore the ark of God upon their shoulders with the bars thereon, as Moses commanded according to the word of the Lord. So the children of Levi, these ones who join, we're going to see, they're the Zadok. They get the poles and they put them in the ark in the holes of it, and they bring it up and they bear it on their shoulders just like Moses commanded according to the word of God. And this would be in accordance with the law, 16, or the statutes or the ordinances that govern, 16. And David spoke to the chief of the Levites to appoint their brethren, the singers, with instruments of music, psalteries and harps and cymbals, sounding aloud and lifting up the voice with joy. So David spoke to all the Levites, and what's getting ready to happen is they're going to set up just like a big parade, going forth with the ark and all these music instruments and all these singers and all the ones. We'll find out, dancing and lifting up a voice of great joy, going forth, bringing the ark up to the city of peaceful teaching. 17. So the Levites appointed Haman, the son of Joel, and of his brethren, Asaph, son of Barachiah, and the sons of Merari, their brethren, Ethan, the son of Cushaiah. And these would be the sons of Levi, which he appointed. Haman, he's the son of Joel. And Haman is that faithful, whom God is the mighty one. And Asaph, he's the gatherer. Asaph is the gatherer. He's the son of Barachiah. Those are the weak of God. Those weak. They're weak and of God, and they need some help. And of the sons of Merari, these sons of bitterness, there were his brethren, these Ethan and Cushaiah. Ethan is a word that means perpetual. It's like forever, everlasting. Cushaiah, even this snare of God. 18. And with them, their brethren of the second degree, Zechariah, Ben, Yahatziel, and Shemiramot, and Yachiel, and Uni, Eliab, Benaniah, Masaiah, and Mattatiah, and Elephaluhu, and Machniah, and Obed-Edom, and Yeiel, the doorkeepers. And these were with them, was their brother, these even of the second degree. And now the second degree, or probably a second rank, or of these ones who were of the second order of Levi. See, there was Zechariah. Zechariah means to be remembered of God, or to call to remembrance. See, this of God. Ben is simply son. Ben means son. Yahatziel is this fierceness. It's like the fierceness or the vigor, the great mightiness of this mighty one. And Shemiramot is this fame of the high places, sustaining life of the mighty one. Yachiel. Uni are those looked down on, and this looked down on is more like a sense of browbeating somebody who is saying bad things, and actually more like somebody who is verbally abusing. Eliab, this mighty one of Father. Benaiah, the established of God, the work of God, that's Masaiah. The reward of God, Mattatiah. This Elephaluhu, the mighty one, even of separation, those which is acquired of God, the Milchniah, the servant of this red. The Obed-Edom is the servant of red. And that red represents to show the blood in the flesh, or to show sin visibly, where it can be seen. And sin is that which is not in accordance with the law of God. Yeiel, that is that which is swept away by the mighty one. 19. So the singers, Haman, Asaph, and Ethan, were appointed with cymbals, brass to sound aloud. So these singers, these ones that's going to go forth singing all the music, as Haman. This is the faithful. Asaph, the gatherer. Ethan is perpetually, forever, it's continual, with cymbals of brass to sound aloud. And these cymbals of brass means this quivering, this shaking. And brass is always have cold darkness, because it's terror. 20. And Zechariah, and Atziel, and Shemiramot, Yachiel, and Uni, and Eliab, and Maaseiah, and Benaniah, with psalteries set to Alamot. And Zechariah, the remembered of God, those that were remembered of God, those that call to remembrance God, and Dotziel, that those that take refuge in the Mighty One, see, those that take refuge in the Mighty One, Sheremot and Yachiel and Uni, these are this fame in the high places, that which is this fame, this well known in the high places. We've heard of this great fame that God causes. Yechiel, having life of the Mighty One, has been giving life. Life is sustained even in the Mighty One. These that are looked down on, Uni, Eliab, the Mighty One of Father, the work of God, Maaseiah, that established by God, that which is even established by God, Benaiah. See, with these psalteries. And these psalteries, this word Nabal, these are what is known as these instruments. They're instruments of foolishness, set to Alamot. And this Alamot is like soprano, is what we would call it. But back then, Alamot means to sound like young women. To sound like these young women. 21. And Mattatiah, and Elephaluhu, and Mechniahu, and Obed-Edom, and Yeiel, and Atzatsiah, and harps, and on the Shemini to lead. And Mattatiah is the reward of God. And Elephaluhu, and Mechniahu, the Elephaluhu is this Mighty One of separation. Phelehu is to separate. This Mechniahu, that which is acquired of God. See, that which is acquired of God, that which the Mighty One separates out, is acquired of God. And Obed-Edom, is that servant of blood in the flesh. We're going to call him the servant of blood in the flesh. This shows the blood in the flesh. And Yeiel is that which is swept away by the Mighty One. All that's swept away by the Mighty One. Atzatsiah, with the strength of God. And they had harps. And these harps here, this word harps is like the twangings. It's to twangings, these sounds of twanging on the Sheminite. The Sheminite is something that has these things of 8. Anything that has 8, Shemin, is the 8 and anything with it. And we're talking about these instruments of 8 strings, even these instruments of a new beginning. 22. And Kenaniah, chief of the Levites, was over the song. He was the master in the song because he was skillful. And Kenaniah, this one singing, he was the chief of the Levites. He was the chief of the ones who joined. Kenaniah means this root of God. It's like the root, or that which establishes. He was a Levite. See, those that joined. 23. And Barakiah and Elkanah were the doorkeepers of the ark. They went before the ark, opening the doors. Even the work of God. Elkanah, the Mighty One, has acquired. 24. And Shebaniah, and Yoshaphat, and Nethanel, and Amasai, and Zechariah, and Benaiah, and Eleazar, the priest, did blow with the trumpets before the ark of God. And Obed-Edom and Yechiah were doorkeepers for the ark. And Shebaniah is that which grows vigorously of God. Even God's judges, God rules over, this Yehoshaphat. Nethanel, that which is given of the Mighty One, those that carry the load, Amasai. The remembered of God, those even that call God to remembrance, or God calls to remembrance. Benaiah, even the established of God, that which God has established. The Mighty One of support, Eleazar. Servant of the red, the servant of this blood, Obed-Edom. Yechiah, who his life was given to, even by God. These were the doorkeepers of the ark. They opened the doors before the ark. 25. So David and the elders of Israel and the captains over thousands went to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the house of Obed-Edom. with joy, with joy. So David, the chosen one, and all the elders of Israel, those that contend with the mighty one, these captains of thousands, and this thousands going to represent these that was over this fulfillment, went to bring up the ark of the covenant, even the ark of that contained the law of the Lord, out of the house of Obed-Edom. That's it, where they had turned aside and left it. And Obed-Edom, once again, that servant of red, this servant of red who's going to serve even that which was to be poured out on the flesh, it's going to represent sin and blood. 26. And it came to pass, when God helped the Levites that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, that they sanctified 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And it came to pass, when God helped the Levites, those that joined, that bore the ark of the covenant, see, of the Lord, because when God helped them, we'll find out the load wasn't even felt, that they sacrificed 7 bullocks and 7 rams. 7's always perfection, or to make it's accomplished. The perfection of work, it's done. 7 bullocks. Bullocks is representations, these young ones, these young bulls who are meant for slaughter. They are those that don't have no understanding. They get out and they break. They do a lot of damage. They get into the field. They scatter seed that wasn't meant to be scattered. And 7 rams, these 7 rams, even this for the perfection of these rams. And these rams are these authority figures. See, these ones that are these authority figures. That word's I-E-I-L. And it's the prominent ones. These ones that get strength even in the twistings. And that represents their horns. That's why this ram is used. 27. And David clothed with a robe of fine linen, and all the Levites that bore the ark, and the singers, and Kenaniah, the master of the singers in the song. And David had upon him an ephod of linen. So now David was clothed in this robe of fine linen. We'll find out that fine linen represents this nobility. And all the Levites, all those that joined, that bore the ark, that carried the ark, that which contains the law, representing actually even your heart. And these singers, all these that went singing with great noise and shouting, we'll find out, before the Lord. Kenaniah, this is the root of God. This is the root. This is actually the beginning, this transplant of God. These master singers in song. And David, that chosen one, had upon him an ephod of linen. An ephod of linen, and we'll find out, this is not, the king's not allowed to wear an ephod. First of all, an ephod can only be worn by the Levites, those that God by ordinance said to do. 28. Thus all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with shouting, and with the sound of the horn, and with trumpets, and with cymbals, and sound aloud with psalteries and harps, and with a great parade, and a great commotion, and a great sound of horn. This horn representing even warning. These trumpets even. With these cymbals, this is shaking and trembling, and this sounding aloud. The sounding aloud with these psalteries and these harps, these twangings, and even these instruments of foolishness. 29. And it came to pass, as the ark of the covenant of the Lord came to the city of David, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out the window and saw King David dancing with and making merry, and she despised him in her heart. And it came to pass, see, as they came to this city of David, this city of the chosen one, with the ark, with this that carries this covenant of God inside, that Michal, this one who is like unto God, she's the daughter of Saul, that desired one, or that one which is asked for even. And she looked out of the window. She looks out of the windows to stare out, and saw King David dancing and making merry. And she saw David in this procession, this great parade going forth before the ark, dancing and making merry. And she despised them in her heart. And she despised him in her heart. And we'll find this is what she did, and even to the fact that she would not bear him children, she despised him in her understanding. All right, we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward to chapter 16. Turn and return